Ice in veins, baby. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get this thing going, huh? Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome to the best YouTube live show that covers the Arkansas Razorbacks around, baby. Arkansas gets it done in double OT. Double OT. They find a way. You know me. Love it. Arkansas, that's the way you fight. That's why you let the game play out for you people in Discord and Twitter and Facebook. Let the game play out. Give it a few possessions before you start freaking out. What a ball game. Yes, sir. We shouldn't be going to overtime with Stanford, but you did, and you won. You did, and you won. You went to double overtime, which was bullshit, by the way. The guy took an extra step. Homeboy took an extra step. They missed it, and Arkansas still found a way to win in double OT. You guys act like everyone is just, oh, they're inferior to us. Dude, this early in the year? I mean, come on. Come on, you just lost a game you had no business losing, and you lost it. And you just beat Stanford, who is a really good offensive basketball team, by the way. You held them in regulation well below their average. Bro, come on. Get with the program. This is not, well, I was going to say this is not football. I ain't going there. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. This isn't baseball. How about that? Like, maybe that would be the response in baseball, because the expectations are, you beat everyone when you're Dave Van Horn and you're the Razorbacks, when you're the Diamond Hogs. All right. Shout out to Patreon supporters. Of course, shout out to Discord, but shout out to Patreon supporters. Man, without you guys, this isn't possible, along with you and sponsors. So I do appreciate you guys. I really do. If you wanna join, you want to help out a small independent channel, a truly independent channel. No umbrella, no big corporation, nothing. Just me, myself, and I, and this little piece of paper from the state of Arkansas that says Pig Trail Media LLC on it. It's just me, baby. So if you want to, throw a little support in, man, Patreon goes a long ways. What a game! What a game! Holy crap! I mean, I was like a lot of you guys in the first part of the second half. It was not good, man. These guys went 6 for 6. They scored 13 points in a matter of 2.5 minutes, or not even. It was pretty. I don't know. It was a little concerning there, but still, no need to freak out. Yeah, he traveled. I agree, Beast Miles. He absolutely did, bro. Absolutely, 110%. He took an extra step, and they got away with it. They got the call. The 3-ball dropped. But hey, you know what? It's still made for a pretty entertaining game. Heart attack Hogs. I hope nobody had a heart attack tonight in the state of Arkansas, because nobody could blame you. By the way, really quick, I know a lot of you know this. Jalen Lewis, Arkansas defensive back, has entered the transfer portal. He was 2-1 this year, right? Was he 21 this year? I keep thinking he got a jersey. Yeah, of course. He's in the transfer portal. Super chat, we got one. What would a fan base be without emotional a-holes like me? Well, I mean, fanatics are both a good and a bad thing, right? I mean, sometimes they just let the moment get the better of them, and that's okay. I mean, listen, I've been victim of that as well. So overall, what a crazy game. I mean, really, when you think about it, Arkansas shot south of 25% in the first half. South of 25%. They cleaned it up. Tonight they end up shooting not a whole lot better, but all things considered, I mean, we talked about how bad they were around the rim tonight. My God in heaven, this team does not look like that. It looks like they need some of them thick glasses when they're driving the lane trying to finish at the rim. I have never seen an Eric Musselman team, hell, a Mike Anderson team, hell, a John Pelfrey team look so horrendous around the rim trying to finish at the rim. My gosh. I mean, at one point it was like 3 of 15 or so. I mean, it was horrible. Like, we can sit here and talk about, the defense in the second half for some parts of it. Again, too many open looks, too many uncontested looks for Stanford. But what this team was doing and around the rim, yeah, they broke 70 points tonight. Someone's going to bring that up without realizing, oh, shit, they went into double overtime, and they still couldn't crack 80 or 85 points. I mean, what would your guess have been if you thought they went into double OT? I would have thought, not that 77's a bad score. Thank God they found it. They held Stanford scoreless for the most of that first overtime. And then, of course, they knocked down eventually. They would find some points and knock down a bullshit three that should have been waved off. Arkansas tonight, 30%, 23 of 76 is that's a horrible, horrible number. You don't I don't know, man, especially when you look at some other numbers like 26% outside, out in the perimeter. Arkansas was 5 of 19 shooting the three ball. You just keep looking at this stuff and it's like, damn, how did they win this game? Well, they did it at the free throw line. They did it with clutch moments like Devo Davis. Devo Davis kept you in this game tonight. There is no doubt. I've told you guys he can win some games for you, and tonight was a perfect example of that. How about Blocker's defense? Now, I don't see any steals given to him right now, according to ESPN. This is probably wrong. Oh, it refreshed. Okay. I was going to say it had to be at least 2. They gave him credit for 3. Blocker, his defense tonight, especially in the second half, was, I thought, outstanding. Now, again, we all have different standards. Musselman's standard is absolutely high. I'm sure he'll give Blocker some credit tonight. What a ball game for him defensively. He also had 4 points and a couple of offensive rebounds too, so not a horrible night for him. In fact, those were his only 2 rebounds. What's crazy is you go into double OT, you have 13 turnovers, which is a little bit surprising. Again, another number I thought would be in the maybe 17, 18, when you consider you're in double OT, and Arkansas has had a habit at times of just some silly turnovers. They only had 13 turnovers. I mean, essentially, that's not that bad, man. I mean, you played a lot of basketball tonight. Just 6 assists, however. Now, Trevon Brazile, as much as I want to give respect to Blocker, because without Blocker's presence tonight defensively, I don't know that you find yourself into a double OT or OT. You may not win this game without him and Devo tonight defensively. But Brazile also, wow. Now, 3 of 12 overall shooting, again, horrible. He was 2 of 5 outside, 8 offensive rebounds, 17 total rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, no blocks. Again, according to ESPN, they're giving Lawson – I knew Lawson had at least 4. They gave Lawson all 5 blocks. Thought maybe Brazile might have snuck one in there, but he ended up with 14 points. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's his first double-double of the year. Just 2 fouls and only 2 turnovers. 17 total rebounds. We saw a glimpse tonight of what Brazile has to offer, at least crashing the boards. I mean, I still want to see him turn up on offense. I still want to see him play a bigger role there. But how about 6 for 6 at the free throw line for Trevon Brazile? I mean, just outstanding. Outstanding basketball, and they crashed the boards tonight, man. They were not. Defensive intensity picked up. Let's go, Ty. We have the talent. It will take time to get everything together, Woo Pig Suey. I don't know how they do the rest of this thing. I don't know. I mean, there's still some concern with this team. They start off so damn slow on the offensive side of things. This is really their first game this year against a quality opponent, but this is really their first game where they kind of played a complete game without playing a complete game, if that makes any sense. Like, the first half, the offense was atrocious, but the defense was on fire. And then the second half, outside of the first few minutes, the defense continued to play pretty well, but those first few minutes, Stanford took it to you, man. When you start off 6 for 6, I think Arkansas scored 2 points in that span of time. I could be wrong. That's not a great start defensively, and some of those were open looks. Stanford did a pretty good job of creating their own shots, setting up nice ball screens. I mean, they started to look like the team I thought they would end up playing and who I thought they would end up playing in the first half. We saw Stanford and Arkansas turn up on the offensive side of things. 52 rebounds. Now, at one point, Arkansas had, it was something like 14 plus rebounds compared to Stanford. They end up at might have been higher than that, 52 rebounds to their 46. They had 16 assists. Now, something interesting about Stanford, they are one of the best assist to turnover ratio teams in college basketball. I had their numbers. I don't know where I put them. Where did we put those numbers? Well, I don't know where I put them, but there's something like a top 10, top 12 team in assist to turnover ratio in all of college basketball, and they don't turn the ball over a lot, and they rack up a lot of assists. They turn the ball over 19 times. You talk about active hands by Arkansas's defense. This was it, man. Renaud, who had 10 rebounds, 2 assists, just 8 points. You know, they found a way to limit him, but then Jones went off for these guys. 27 points, 8 rebounds, nearly had himself a double-double. He had a steal and just 2 turnovers on the night. What a night for Jones for them. Incredible. Arkansas's leading scorer, Tremont Mark, man. Tremont Mark, ice in his veins. Mr. Mid-Range Mark got it done. You need to finish at the rim. He was the guy to do it. He took on that J.D. Note role there, driving the lane, drawing fouls, doing whatever he had to do, right? Finding a way. Now, he wasn't great outside, but he did knock down a 3. He was 1 for 4. Shot 12 of 15. Again, Arkansas 78%. That's not bad at all when you're shooting 33 attempts at the free throw line. So many things to brag about, and there's still so much work left to be done with this team. You kind of feel like Arkansas stole this game. Stanford led 95% of this game in regulation. Arkansas found a way, Devo, found a way to really put some pressure on these guys in the second half, changed the pace a little bit. Arkansas didn't mind going a little bit faster. And, again, Arkansas did a great job of pushing this thing into overtime. Stanford should never have been a double OT, but you got it. And I know some people aren't happy about that. They want to find something to complain about. But listen, Arkansas still found a way to win this game. They played horrific. Anytime you're shooting 25% in any given half, first or second half, doesn't matter. Overtime, doesn't matter. Of course, there's less minutes in overtime, but whatever. That's horrible. That is atrocious. And given the numbers that they had put up in the first half, who the hell would have thought they'd find a way to win this game in double OT? Again, just very impressive. Shout out to Tim Duncan. Hey, Tim Duncan with the $8 Patreon. He's joined Patreon for the $8 tier. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for signing up. Let's read some of the comments here really fast. Win's a win, says Camo Game. Well, there you go. There you go, baby. A win's a win. That's all there is. I'm cool with this being Tremont's team. Mark plays both ways better than anyone on this team. We'll have to let that one breathe for a little while. He looked really good tonight, especially when it mattered the most. Typical Muss team can't shoot. Country boy always finding something to complain about. I swear, man, your glass is constantly half full. Ty, playing bad and finding a way to win is a sign of a good basketball team. Again, it's the point that I'm trying to make is they shot so horrifically, and yet played bad. That first half was horrible offensively. And to start the second half defensively, they didn't start off very good, and they still found a way. They found a way to push this thing into overtime with the depth, and that's the thing that we've talked about. And quality depth matters. And here's an example. Stanford was gassed. They were done. In overtime, they were done. You saw how well they played and how much they gave it their all, especially in the second half. Arkansas wore them out, and then they had the depth to mess around with. They had quality depth. They could rely on some guys. Yeah, they didn't have great, you look at the stat sheet, and it's like, well, they didn't do anything. Yeah, but they had a presence defensively. They helped open things up offensively. You look at Lawson again. What a game by him, though, right? I mean, he got a lot of minutes tonight. One with defense is Chuck O'Kelly. That's exactly it. They won. This looked like a must team. He dragged Stanford down into the mud. He dragged them down into the mud. Well, the team Arkansas did, but it's typical of Muss's team, and forced you to play down here with us in the mud, getting all gross, getting all physical, all up in your grill, making you play outside of your typical rhythm. That's what he is so good at doing. He's a defensive coach. There's no doubt about it. And the fact that these guys, when you consider how poorly they've played defensively, to turn around against a team like Stanford, who I think is, I don't know, don't ask me if they're really a tournament team or not. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know yet. I'm going to let the season play out. The portal has had such an impact. That it's hard to say. I mean, sometimes it takes teams, you have the kind of turnover that Arkansas, now Stanford doesn't, it's a little bit different. They play the portal different than everybody else. They don't accept, they're weird about transfers, and it's the same thing with football as well, all their sports. But still, when you look at the kind of turnover that you have and to play this the way that Arkansas has, at least, it's going to take some time, and they had no rhythm offensively in the first half. The second half, they brought Stanford down into the mud with them, baby, and I loved it. If you're a team, you want to improve the percentage. You want to improve the percentage of 3-pointers. All you have to do is schedule Arkansas. Yeah, their perimeter defense tonight. I mean, it wasn't horrible. There were some open looks. Stanford started settling, and you got to give credit to Arkansas. I think they did. I think they had as good of a night, or this is probably the best perimeter defensive night they've had in the regular season. Right? Stanford is not a portal school. Oh, yeah, right. I just said that. Thank you. Agreed. Too many wide open shots. A lot of uncontested shots, but Arkansas still, I mean, they did a good job of adjusting and starting to chase them out off the perimeter a little bit. And then you saw them a lot of errant throws or passes. I mean, Arkansas really kind of got into their heads a little bit. Boy, Jones just killed him. This guy shot 50% outside, 5 of 10. He was horrible at the free throw line. Go figure. 2 of 6. They were not good. And if you're Stanford, if this is a Stanford postgame show right now, we're talking about we just let Arkansas, who's not been a good free throw shooting team, who's a horrific 3-point shooting team. Their offense has gone stagnant the last couple of games, and they beat us at the free throw line. We shot 54%. We lost this game because we couldn't knock down our free throws. And that would certainly be a big, big part of it for them. They were horrible, 13-24 at the free throw line. That's not going to win you any games. Make your shots, make your free shots. You gotta do a better job than that for sure. Angel, who fouled out for them, they had a couple of guys foul out. I say Jones, there's 2 of them. Michael Jones, the senior, he fouled out. He ended up with just 5 points tonight, but it was their forward, Spencer Jones. That dude, I mean, he looked like a senior. He looked, it seemed like every time he had the ball, you were a little bit nervous outside. Anytime they had the ball outside, I mean, but again, they started to settle, and I think some of that was because of Arkansas's adjustment on defense. They started talking about Stanford. They settled for shots, so they certainly played a role in Stanford's shooting. 30% is not a horrific number. It's not a great number. Now, they took 30 attempts outside. Arkansas took just 19, and they still shot better than Arkansas. Arkansas just shot the 26%. So, yeah, hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, please hit the like button. Ty, the free throw shooting, I think, will be fine this season. They sure hit them tonight in clutch situations several times. You're exactly right. We could sit here and complain about free throws, and I always will. To me, it's like these are free shots. These are free shots, uncontested. You're at the free throw line. You got to hit those. You got to make those. I can understand missing a couple. They've been a very below average free throw shooting team this year. Tonight, they made the ones that mattered, and they shot pretty well at the charity stripe. So it's kind of like they did a good job there. I mean, they really did. They won this game at the free throw line, and with mostly really good defense. Mostly really good defense. This is not the same team that beat Purdue a few weeks ago. Not sure who that team was. Purdue with a couple of spicy wins. They're looking number one overall right now. Purdue looks really good. I don't know what happened. You can also probably chalk some of that up to matchup, right? I mean, Arkansas is probably just a really tough matchup for Purdue. They can play in all sorts of different ways. Arkansas's got a little bit of length. They've got more athleticism than Purdue does, but Purdue has the bigger bodies. They play a physical brand of ball, and they've got, I mean, my God, they've got one big down there that's or over there that's really good. So late, but damn, that was a nail biter. What's up, SLR in the chat? What's up, my guy? That was a nail biter. That was incredible. I mean, if you're just a fan of basketball, that game was it, man. That game was a lot of fun. If you're a Hog fan, you might want to go get your blood pressure checked. If you're a Stanford fan, you're probably pretty pissed. Arkansas is going to take on Memphis tomorrow at 4. Everyone wants that Memphis rematch or you know, back like you used to playing Memphis. They're going to play them tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I got to give you guys an update. I don't know. Make sure you hit the notification bell because I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do the post game for that or not. We're doing Thanksgiving. I just don't know what time yet. So I should know. I've been really busy. I know my in-laws and my wife and her sister were trying to get this all arranged. I'm hoping I can do a post game tomorrow. That's the goal. One way or another, you guys know I'll be back on Friday regardless. Ty just woke up but looked at the stats, say we won shooting 30%. That's wild, Woo Pig. Josh, that's exactly it, bro. They shot horribly, and found a way to win this game in overtime when it mattered the most. In overtime. The depth, baby. Quality depth matters. I want to know, does anybody know what the hell happened to Mekhi Mitchell? Did he play a single minute in the second half? He didn't foul out. Did he get hurt? Did I miss something? What happened to Mekhi Mitchell? I mean, he got 6 points. He offered you something on offense. Was it just that they wanted Lawson? Maybe that was it. Maybe they felt like Mekhi. But I thought maybe they would sub someone out and Mekhi would find his way back out onto the floor. Mekhi mostly this year has been pretty solid. I guess they just really liked Lawson. I mean, 5 blocks. What's there not to love, right? He did get into some foul trouble. He had 4 fouls. I think he picked up his 4th. I want to say in overtime. 9 points. Came close to a double-double. 13 rebounds. 5 offensive boards. Between him and Brazil, 13 offensive rebounds. 21 total offensive rebounds. You nearly 2-1 them in the offensive rebound category. I mean, just impressive, man. It's like they left him on the bench. I wondered about Mitchell as well. I'm assuming it has something to do with Lawson. I know Lawson was playing out of his mind, but I thought maybe they would give Brazil. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking there, but obviously it worked. He saw something. Y'all make sure you go sub to SLR, man. Sports Live reactions. He is awesome. He'll have, if you have trouble finding the game, he'll find it for you when the Arkansas Razorbacks play. Ty, probably going with the hot hand, at least. Right, yeah, and that could have been it. Like I said, Lawson was him tonight. There's no doubt. D-Max's blocker in all caps. Blocker was fantastic tonight. I cannot brag enough about that young man. He did not look like a freshman. He did not look like a true freshman tonight. I was very impressed with Blocker. I really hope this guy builds off his game a little bit. I don't know that he'll turn into a two-way guy or not. He's probably going to be when he wants another high-intensity defensive guy, Blocker's going to make his way out onto the floor. Mark was clutch, 100%. 100%, man. What's up, Bumbles? What's going on? Drapes Ellis has been disappointing the last 2 games. There's still a couple of guys, well, not a couple, more than a couple. There's still some guys that are trying to find – they're still trying to find the rhythm to play with. You know what I mean? Offensively, it's like if Battle isn't there – And he hasn't been there. Let's be real. Battle has struggled. No doubt about it. You look at the last game, you look at tonight, just 9 points. But he was clutch at the free throw line. He was 4 for 4. He was 1 of 4 outside, 2 of 11 overall shooting. You would think with that, well, okay, the next guy's got to step up. Tonight it was Mark and Devo to some extent, who had just one more point, but Devo again just clutch with that 3 assists, 6 rebounds, a steal, 3 of 6. He shot 50% at the free throw line. He found a way to keep Arkansas in this game. Again, Devo put this team on his shoulders and found a way. I mean, that's just what that guy does. That's what he does. And oh my gosh, I'm blanking. I was just bragging on him. Blocker, him and Blocker out on the floor together. That's a lot of defensive intensity. Blocker, who's not as big. He's 6'2", 175, but man, he plays. He didn't look like a freshman tonight. I was just so impressed with him. Really good game. Blocker, he did miss that dunk. You're not wrong, Kopecky. He did miss that dunk. You're not wrong. Brazil, 17 boards. Wasn't it great? 17 boards, dude. Who's the last player to get 17 rebounds? It was recent, right? Wasn't that long ago. Someone got 17 or close to it, 16. Brazil with 8 offensive, 9 defensive rebounds. No blocks, but he had the double-double tonight. Mark, ice in his veins. He drove the lane so hard, dude. I mean, I was very impressed with Mark. We're starting to figure out the identity of this team more and more. We're getting there. We're getting there. You're molding, you're doing what you got to do there. Still a lot left. I mean, listen, I have no idea how well they're going to do against Memphis. I have no idea. But if they play like they did, at least for most of this second half, and the way they did in OT, I don't know. They're going to be a tough team. They're going to be a tough beat for sure. They're going to be very tough to beat. I mean, I was so impressed. And again, we talk about the rotation, right? Like, they're going to stick to about an 8-man rotation. I mean, they ended up with 10 tonight. They ended up with 10. Now, Pinion didn't get a whole lot of minutes. I think he only had like a couple possessions, a couple of Razorback possessions, and then he was gone, it felt like. I don't think he got that many minutes. How many minutes did he get? Pinion. Oh, this is a weird stat sheet. This is somebody else's stat sheet. What did you get, Pinion? Pinion had to be at least 4 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Brazil had 46. Devo had 45. Tremont Mark with 41. Then Mekhi Mitchell just 17 minutes. I mean, I get it. Lawson, you're right. Lawson was probably the hot hand. Other guys, Lawson got the 36. And not only that, for the most part, played out of foul trouble. Uses those arms. He uses that length. And he got rebounds tonight. He had 8 rebounds. He had 13 total rebounds. He had 9 points. Almost came away with a double-double. Talking about layups. 9 of 26 and 1 for 3 on dunks. I mean, that's horrible. I don't know that I've ever seen a team struggle. And we saw a little bit of that in the last game. It was nowhere near this bad. 9 of 26 on layups, 1 of 3 on dunks. I mean, hell, Brazil missed 2. And I don't know if that dunk number's right. I feel like they were like 1 of 5, 1 of 4. This game was tied up 7 different times. Arkansas had 83 total possessions. What a game. What a game. Found a way, and that's what matters. You found a way, and that's absolutely what matters. 30 boards between Brazil and Lawson. Brazil kind of arrogant. He gets a little mouthy, kind of stepping over that guy, and then you got to be smarter. You can't be kicking people, man. You can't be doing that. Surprised they didn't eject Brazil for kicking that player. Yeah, as soon as they mesh together, it's going to be a problem. If they find a little bit more rhythm, I mean, they got to find a lot more rhythm offensively. I'd certainly like to see what we saw for Mark tonight. I want to see more consistently. Somebody's got to be the guy. And there's no reason why it can't be Battle. Mark, again, nobody should be surprised. Mark was absolutely him tonight. He had ice in his veins. Wasn't afraid to drive the lane. Wasn't afraid to finish around the rim, and did so. But I don't know that what I'm saying is I'd like to see Battle step up and be the guy. I'd love to see Devo do more of what we saw tonight. I want to see this all more consistently. If they find any offensive rhythm this year, if they could get a little bit hotter, I don't know that this is going to be it's going to be a typical Musselman team. I don't know if they're going to be great at stretching the floor. I don't know if they're going to be knocking down the three ball left and right. They still have a lot of work left to be done there. I don't know. Some nights you feel like they're going to do really well outside. Other nights, probably more nights than most, they're probably going to struggle. They're going to have to find ways to get points. They're going to have to grind out points. But again, if they could play like they did defensively throughout 80 or 75, 80% of this game, and then put together some more rhythm on the offensive end of the floor, this team is going to be dangerous. Arkansas is going to be tough to deal with. So I still like where they're at. I really do. I know that UNC Greensboro game really had an impact on some folks. A lot of people just kind of already the most fickle fans on earth already are like, I can't do this. I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's too much, damn it. Listen, man, this is typical. All right? Let the season play out. They may not be a top 3 seed. Okay? My thing is with Musselman, he has shown last year a lot of people, myself included, thought they were going to miss the tournament. Coming out of or going into mid-February, it was not looking good. It was not looking good. And they found a way, and they still got to the Sweet 16. Okay, that would have shocked a lot of people to say, had I said in the middle of a live, by the way, guys, I got a crystal ball. Right here. You know what? We've lost some just horrible games. We played terrible. Shoot percentage was awful. Defense took the night off. But guess what? My crystal ball says we're going to go to the Sweet 16. You guys would have called me crazy. So that's my thing. Let the season kind of play out. Don't let one game, or even tonight, as apparently a couple of you, don't let a couple of games, don't just flip the table and get all pissed. Let it play out. It's basketball. Get a long season. They may not be a top 3 seed. Right now I would be shocked if that happened. But then again, maybe not. This team has some quality depth. They've got some bench players. They got guys that can really light up. We got a little bit of spurt ability. And we saw that tonight. You had 32 or 22 bench points tonight, which is an off night for them. Which was an off night for them. There are some teams that would love to be around 22 points a game off their bench. And Arkansas tonight, you could say, this is kind of an off night for their bench. Their production off the bench this year is going to play a big role, and it's because of that quality depth. It's because of Battle coming off the bench. I get it. Most nights this year he's been on. He just hasn't been the last couple. Maybe he'll find his rhythm back. But, again, pump the brakes. They may not win tomorrow. I don't know. Again, Arkansas, they're going to pull you down into the mud, make you play well below your capabilities, right? They're gonna bring you down with them in a good way. That's by design. That's Arkansas's. That's what we saw tonight. That is typical Musselman. That was a typical coached Musselman team. We finally saw it against a quality offensive team. So if they do that more and they find it on offense, yeah. Sky's the limit for this team if all these things can come together. So again, a lot of experience, a lot of good players on this team. They just got to find a way to put it all together. A lot of people are mocking the idea, what happened to all the shooters? What happened to all the shooters, bro? You can have all the shooters in the world. It doesn't mean shit if you can't play cohesively on both ends of the floor. It doesn't mean a damn thing. You can have McDonald's All-Americans all up and down your roster, great two-way players, great offensive players, all these points, guys that stretch the floor, guys that can knock down the 15-footers, guys that are automatic in the paint when they drive the lane. Won't matter at all if there's no rhythm or flow, if you don't figure out how to play well together, and if you don't find that right rotation, which is up to Musselman. He's got to put them in the right position at the right time. That's on him. So we'll see what happens moving forward. I want to thank you guys. Shout out to the show sponsors, Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. They do work out of Central Arkansas. And in Northwest Arkansas, they got you covered, man. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Give them a call, and their link is provided for you down below. Of course, the Odso Craft Bar and Pizzeria. If you guys, when Duke comes to town, maybe you're going to be in town, you want to grab you a slice, why not check out the Odd Soul Craft Bar and Pizzeria? Wonderful stuff on tap. Local IPAs on Emma Street in Springdale. Let me read some more comments here really fast. Accurate fan expression. Kudos to Sam. I hope they win tomorrow. I want that North Carolina game. Boy, they look salty. I know. Who'd they play? It was like Northern Iowa Tech, Providence. I mean, I don't even know who the hell they played, but they looked really good. They looked the part. They looked like old school North Carolina. Jeremy Gray, tie, period. But that's, Jeremy, that's your thing. Tie, period. It's truly stunning when you look at the quality of coaching of our basketball team compared to football. Football revenue was $84 million, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It'd be nice if, you know, and all the respect in the world to Sam Pittman, okay? I really do like the guy. I mean, he really does seem like someone I could sit at a bar with and not even talk football. Just talk about whatever. And I feel like he would have like words of wisdom, you know what I mean? I've met his wife. I've met his wife once years ago after he was hired. Met him at a met him and her at a women's basketball game. Very nice people, good people. They're from the region. They're from the area. I want him to turn this thing around. I wonder if he eats, breathes, and sleeps and bleeds football the way that Musselman does basketball. I mean, Musselman, I guarantee you right now, he's probably watching. Hell, he's watching. Maybe he's watching a game right now as we speak. I've got a game on Florida and Pitt on right now. They're up 10, Florida is. Yeah, I just wish that was the kind of coach he was. Maybe he is. Maybe he's just not as, he's just not as obvious about it. Musselman, this guy eats, breathes, and sleeps the game of basketball. He's passionate about it. He hates losing, and he wears it on his shoulders. They're on his shoulder. There's no doubt about that. Pittman just doesn't give off that vibe. And listen, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. Clearly, I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't. I know that's tough to hear, and a lot of people just want to bash the guy right now. I really do want him to turn this around. I mean, it's clear he's going to be back for next year. He's a good dude. I don't know. I've yet to see a season, not to trail off on football here for a minute, I've yet to see a season where they've got it figured out on both sides of the ball, and that's hard to do anywhere, and it's really hard to do at Arkansas. The last several years it's been all about the offense. The defense has been abysmal. Now it's the other way around. I don't know if he can turn this thing around. I really don't. I don't want to cast a negative shadow on 2024. A lot of work left to be done, right? See how they do in the portal. We'll see how they do hiring an offensive coordinator. What do they do at offensive line? What are they doing? Are they going to go after? I mean, they got a big commit out of the portal. Just the other day, that was a good one. That was a good get. Former JUCO kid. He's got to clean it up on the offensive line, and a decision has to be made. A decision has to be made about Kennedy. I don't think you can bring him back. I just don't. And I hope that Sam can sever those ties. I know that they have a connection and all that. I get it. I know he's your boy. I've been around him. I was at a junior camp not that long ago with Otis Kirk. And Kennedy's a fun guy, okay? He's a fun guy. He's certainly someone I think players don't mind playing for at all. But he hasn't cut it out this year. And the offensive line was abysmal. There's a lot of work. I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm not saying it's impossible. But it's an uphill struggle. And I wished – Musselman gives off those vibes that he takes losing personal. And he doesn't have to – he's not doing it to show fans anything. he truly deep down, he's not happy, right? He's pissed off tonight. I guarantee he's probably still not super thrilled about what happened tonight, the fact that it took him 2 overtimes. So I kind of wish Pittman was a little bit more like that. I do. I'm guilty. I'll admit it. I wish he was more just always thinking about the game. Maybe he is. I can't read his mind. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, they won 9 games in 2021. And now you have to give him a shot. You don't have a choice. Hunter Yurchek says so. So it is what it is. Sam was great with Chad's players. Blah, 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 blah. We will go 3-9 next year. Sam will be gone. Yeah. It's a tall order. All right, guys. Again, I appreciate you. Make sure, again, if you want to join Patreon, please consider doing so. There you go. Here's the link if you guys want to join Patreon. Shout out to those of you that are there. Yes, I'm fully aware my ticker at the bottom of the screen is going in the wrong direction, but you know what? I'm different like that. I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm going to be completely different. I'm my own guy, all right? Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow night. If I don't, happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. Enjoy some turkey, some mashed taters, okay? Some cranberry sauce. Oh, my God, the deviled eggs makes my fat heart happy. I'm so happy. It's my favorite time of year. All right, happy Thanksgiving, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow night. If not, I'll see you at some point. I'll probably be live twice on Friday, so I'll see you then.